Daddy broke this ground with horses long before I wore these boots. Every fence post had a story, every row ran deep with roots. Then one spring the rain stopped falling, corn turned brown beneath the sun. Bills stacked higher than the silo, and the bank came calling. The bank took the land, God took the rest. One piece at a time, left nothing left. The fields turned into someone else's dream. The porch forgot what laughter means. I lost the farm, I lost the fight, I lost more than I can confess. The bank took the land, God took the rest. Mary fought that winter cancer, smiling through the pain somehow. She'd hold my hand and tell me softly, don't you let life break you now. I buried her beneath the oak tree, where we carved our names at 17. Half my heart went in that casket, the other half stayed here. The bank took the land, God took the rest. One piece at a time, left nothing left. The fields turned into someone else's dream. The porch forgot what laughter means. I lost the farm, I lost the fight, I lost more than I can confess. The bank took the land, God took the rest. My boy packed up one cold morning, said, Dad, I can't live like this. I watched his taillights fade forever down that county road of dust. Didn't blame him for leaving. Some dreams die where they're born. Still I wave each passing pickup, like maybe he'll come home. Now strangers work my daddy's acres, driving tractors I once knew. Funny how the earth keeps turning, no matter who belongs to who. Every sunrise finds me standing, leaning on that old fence line, talking to the Lord in silence, like he's standing there beside me. I asked him, why'd you take my harvest? Why'd you take my wife? Why'd you leave me breathing if you were taking everything? The morning wind just crossed the wheat, and somewhere in that silence I finally understood. He never took the man I chose to be. The bank took the land, God took the rest, but neither one could steal my faith. You can take the soil beneath my boots, you can't take the miles I've walked. You can take the keys, you can take the deed, you can even take my home, but as long as these hands can still fold in prayer, I'll never stand alone. The bank took the land, but grace stayed with me. Now every Sunday after church, I drive that old gravel road, tip my hat toward fields I used to own. thank God for everything He left behind. She wore sunset in her blue eyes, wild as any Texas sky. Never could be fenced or broken, Lord, I don't know how I tried. We spent years beneath those cottonwoods, riding trails at break of day. I thought forever had our names written in the dust that way. She left me her horse, not her heart. That's what I believed from the start. The house went one way, the money another. I got an old saddle scarred by weather. I figured love had passed me by like smoke beneath the stars. She left me her horse, not her heart. Folks all gathered after church, talking low outside the gate. Lawyer reading through the papers while I stared across the plains. Her sisters got the silver china, her nephews took the land. Then the lawyer looked up slowly, she left the horse to him. She left me her horse, not her heart. That's what I believed from the start. No diamond ring, no wedding band, just old leather reins inside my hands. Guess some goodbyes don't explain why they leave the deepest scars. She left me her horse, not her heart. Old Ranger found a pouch beneath the seat. Folded tight inside the leather was a letter signed by Grace. If these words have found you, then my hands began to shake. I never gave you my heart because you already had it. No one else could calm this horse when thunder rolled across the hills. No one else knew all his habits or the silence that he filled. People leave money to strangers, land to family, ranks to wives. I left you Ranger, 'cause I trusted you with the piece of me that stayed alive. That old horse walked beside me, never pulled against the reins like somehow he already knew what I had just learned that day. She left me her horse and her heart, hidden where nobody would look. Not inside a bank or a lawyer's file, but stitched beneath old leather. Now every sunrise finds us riding across the hill she loved. She left me her horse, 'cause she never had to leave her heart. There's one empty chair on my front porch, one saddle by the barn. And every evening Ranger still turns toward the gate, like she's coming home. Daddy drove that black Peterbilt, hauling freight through wind and guilt. Said keep your word and keep your hands strong enough to work this land. Then one night he missed his call. Highway patrol knocked at our door. Burned up a rig beside the bridge. He's gone was all they said. I dug my father's grave twice, once with tears, once with truth. The first time buried somebody else, the second time I buried you. Two prayers under two gray skies, two Sundays, 25 years apart. Lord, I never dreamed one man could break the same son's heart twice. Mama stood in her Sunday black, holding on to fading fast. Neighbors cried and shook my hand while I shoveled red clay ground. Every birthday after that started at a headstone first. I talked to him before I'd pray, believing he could hear. I dug my father's grave twice, once with tears, once with truth. The first time buried somebody else, the second time I buried you. Two prayers under two gray skies, two Sundays, 25 years apart. Lord, I never dreamed one man could break the same son's heart twice. Then the county cut a new road, blasting through an old rock wall. Down below they found a pickup rust had hidden all these years. Sheriff called me after midnight, voice I never heard before. Son, we think we finally found him. And my whole world stopped. His old buckle, his pocket watch, wedding band still on his hand. Every doubt I'd lived beside turned to truth beneath that dirt. The preacher spoke the same old verses, just with older, shakier hands. Funny how amazing grace can sound so different twice. After everyone had gone, I stayed there with my shovel. One grave held a stranger, one grave held my father. Both deserved a name, both deserve somebody's tears. I dug my father's grave twice, once as a scared young boy, once as a tired old man who finally knew the truth. Some men only leave one goodbye, mine had to be for the end. I dug my father's grave twice, and both times I buried the man who taught me how to stand. There's two crosses on that hill now, one for the man we never knew, one for my daddy. And every Memorial Day I leave flowers on both. On both. Every board was cut by hand, Saturday dust and wedding plans. I raised those walls with borrowed tools, dreaming like a hopeful fool. For the concrete frame, psychedelic rock, blues rock, acid rock, classic rock. Counted pennies, worked 2 jobs or more. Every nail I drove that spring sounded like forever to me. I built the house she left me in, board by board, beam by beam. Every window held tomorrow, every room held dream. Now every floorboard knows my footsteps, every wall remembers her name. I built the house she left me in, now it echoes just the same. She picked the paint for every room, white for June, blue for the moon. Wrapped her fingers around my arm, said this finally feels like home. 1 week later she packed her clothes, never raised her voice at all, just left a ring upon the counter and walked beyond those walls. I built the house she left me in, board by board, beam by beam. Every window held tomorrow, every room held our dream. Now every floorboard knows my footsteps, every wall remembers her name. I built the house she left me in, now it echoes just the same. Folks kept saying sell that place, start again somewhere away. But how do you sell 30,000 hours hammered into every frame? There's a mark behind the pantry where we measured future kids. Funny how the dreams survive long after people quit. Last October she drove by slow, didn't know I watched her go. She stared a while at that old porch, then disappeared like smoke. Maybe she remembered laughing, maybe she remembered house ain't pine, it ain't the roof or county lines. A house becomes a home because somebody stays when everybody else walks away. I built the house she left me in, but it never broke my hands. Only my heart, only my pride, only everything we'd planned. If these walls could ever talk, they'd say love ain't built with nails. I built the house she left me in, but somehow it still became my home. Every morning I unlock that door. Sunlight falls across the floor, and every evening when I turn the porch light on, it isn't waiting for her anymore. It's waiting for tomorrow. It's waiting for tomorrow. Daddy hauled the midnight highways, blacktop diesel, coffee stains. Every Friday just past sundown, he'd stop in and cash his pay. Miss Louise would pour the coffee, old Hank counted every check. Drive safe, I'll see you Friday. Then he'd climb back in that Freightliner. The truck stop still cashes my daddy's checks. Long after he was gone, I spent half my life believing somehow he was holding on. Every Friday with every mile I drove, the truck stop still cashes my daddy's checks. Lord, how could it be so? One November daddy vanished. Truck was found but not a trace. Highway patrol searched for weeks, then closed another case. Mama cried herself to sleep in. I learned to work before 16, but every time I passed that truck stop, something pulled at me. The truck stop still cashes my daddy's checks. Long after he was gone, I spent half my life believing somehow he was holding on. Every Friday hope came knocking. With every mile I drove, the truck stop still cashes my daddy's checks. Lord, how could it be so? 20 years and countless highways finally brought me back. Old Hank sat behind the counter, older now but still in black. He smiled slow and said your daddy never missed a Friday. Then he walked into the office holding one last envelope. Inside were every paycheck, never spent a single dime. My daddy asked me one thing: if I don't make it home, keep these for my boy. One day he'll come looking, every check still bore his name, every signature untouched. Old Hank said a promise is heavier than any load your daddy hauled. Then he slid the box across and tipped his cap. Daddy never made it home, but somehow his promise did. The truck stop still cashes my daddy's checks, not because he lived, but because one honest man refused to break his word. Daddy never made it home, but somehow his promise did. The truck stop still cashes my daddy's checks. Now they've all been paid. Every Friday I still stop there